Welcome back, gamers. This is Raf204 with.
Hey.
Here, we're back with another one, guys. This is a topic. This is a hot topic I wanted to talk about with the mobile gaming and console gaming or PC game and gaming in general, right? Like, where are we? Where are we then? Where are we now? It's a totally different. It's a totally different time. From what we are, where we are back then until we are now. We can literally grab our phones and play a lot of games, even console games like Visa console games. Right on your phone, right on your phone.
Console games.
Attach controllers to it. We talked about this a couple of videos back. Um, I want to talk about let's talk about the kids first of all. Kids mobile. Roblox, Fortnite. What do you think about what's going on with that that field?
Yeah, live service is what you're talking about, really. And yeah, it's very convenient, I guess, strategy to make games like that, where games are basically infinite, and you just and you sell it right. The way you make money is by microtransaction purchases. But in that sense, yeah, it's I mean one of my I get from my top five my favorite games there was number two or even first one was the Path of Exile, which is technically a live service games.
Yeah.
Thing is that it's also in a sense it's very different from any other live service games in the fact that there was no predatory microtransactions, I guess. Well, not anymore, I guess, but at least it was its whole selling point is to be very neutral like that in that sense.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Um,
But but right with those Fortnite and Roblox games, those are even Roblox is not necessarily a predatory monetizing like that. Fortnite is more of
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
like
Fortnite.
that.
I mean, not Minecraft. Well, Roblox has a lot of store things. They always. My kids barely ask me because I'm gonna say no. but
Yes.
they always look to buy something or get something and
Yeah,
everything.
because that if you right, I think we had this kind of a slight similar discussion about about game development, and I was mentioning the Roblox in that sense because well, one of our coworkers also kind of very interested in Roblox, and even I had discussion with him about game development because he's kind of interested in that too. But he's targeting more about Roblox because he plays it and he knows, and it's a biggest game out there. Period. My point is that yes, a lot of it's basically like integrated by default the whole this the microtransactions in Roblox, and that's how it's
Yeah,
free by itself, right? So and it's free to play and it's free to make games, but if you want to make money, right, you add a microtransaction. So in that sense, right, speaking of the games in general, mobile, I guess, in that sense, the and Fortnite,
taking
the
a dump,
problem
taking
the
a dump
problem
while
it's
playing,
huh
taking a
yeah,
dump while playing.
it's not right. For once, it's an infinite games basically. Fortnite, the whole point of Fortnite is that you get those battles, like you basically constantly play the same game,
Do
same
you
mode,
think? Yeah.
same
Oh,
battles.
speaking of Fortnite, do you think Fortnite is being played more on console or on mobile?
I think console.
You think console more?
I yes, because honestly, I think a lot of people who well, a lot of people who have a consoles, have Fortnite because it's a very easy game to play. That's another thing with all those mobile-esque games. They're very easy to play. They're very simple in that sense. There's just one thing you do, and for example, Fortnite, right? It's a battle royale. You play the battle. It's done. You repeat again. It's infinitely repeatable. For Roblox, in that sense, it's more of advanced because they had the creation, I guess, a system there where people create basically games infinitely for that. So in that sense, you can just you can play all your same type games if you wish, or you can just browse the new ones. But the point is that it also can be done infinitely and forever. And in that sense, it's kind of begs the discussion about like the 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 ethics, I guess, of a of that system in the first place. Like, where is there a value in things that are like endless? You know,
Yeah, yeah,
because right, it's kind of, I guess, could relate also to a discussion of new and old games, because
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of like
That video's
kind
coming. That video's coming.
of, yeah, it's kind of, but I guess I'll tease it that the reason why all games are so good is because they take an effort to make. If
Yeah,
its game is easy to make, it takes less effort and it shows in the game. And in that sense, those games are easy actually to make, like Fortnite and Roblox. And and in that sense, it shows it shows it reflects in the effort, and it reflects in the quality. So those are games that are a little a little shallow in that sense, but because they're so easy to make. And in that sense, are they even good in that case? And it's very questionable. And right, the main target of those games is also younger generation. And the way, I
yeah,
guess it's a little complicated topic, I guess, but the way take it for example, social media, right? The whole point of social media is to keep you engaged.
right.
And and that's what kind of the whole point of those games too. It's keep you engaged with the flashy transactions, with the flashy game modes. As long as you're playing it, people are benefiting from that. And that's kind of the it's more of a it's not even those games that are games in the first place. Those are like attention projects, basically. They designed by its base design to keep you engaged. Like, it's not even a question of what creating something good, creating some kind of a engaging experience. It's just designed to keep you engaged and keep you playing it, keep you in there, so you can hopefully eventually somehow end up in a microtransaction store and start moving money through the system.
Right. Um,
And in that sense, yeah, there's as much as we could discuss, all those, well, that's I guess one of the ways to view the mobile games compared to
yeah,
any other types of games. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, what I'm seeing with my kids, what I'm seeing what they're doing, it's just like I have this. Like I told you in a couple videos back, I have the Switch too, right? I have the Steam Deck. I even have a emulation console called the Odin 2, which I loaded up with a whole bunch of games, um, and I'm trying to like play with them Roblox. I play with them Roblox one here and there, but that's all they want to play, man. And they don't care about consoles. I got the PlayStation, I got the Xbox. They're not even asking me, hey dad, since you're not using the play, like this was back in the days. And my kids, I mean, if it was reversed, I would have been asked my father, hey, can I take the PlayStation since you're not even playing it? Can I take it to my house? Like because like they don't even ask that. They don't even ask that question. They want a device that they can get on and play Roblox, and be on YouTube doom scrolling. That's where they're at. And they see me playing. They see me playing the games, the graphics, all of that. They see all the new games because I show it to them. Because I show it to them, they see it, and they're like, "Yeah, that's cool. It's correct." Right. The Donkey Kong game came out a couple years back when the first Switch came out. My son was all into it. My son was like, "Yeah, well, let's play this, let's play that." We play all these games, all these Switch games together. Now with the Switch 2, the Donkey Kong game comes out. My son doesn't even blink an eye. Like, "Oh, did you get it?" I even told him I'm gonna get it soon, but I don't know when. And he didn't even ask me like, "Hey, did you get it?" or anything. It's even nominated for Game of the Year, and he don't care. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm playing Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, and I'm playing on PC. I'm playing Guardians of the Galaxy. And they see the visuals on both games. They see how it is, and they're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," and they go right back to playing on their mobile devices. Um, to me, I mean, it's part of gaming now, right? It's been part of gaming. It is what it is. But like, do you really consider it real games in there? Do you really consider that like that? Do you think that they get the actual game experience, especially coming from like the console games, like Resident Evil?
Well,
Let's say Resident Evil 4. That you can play that on your mobile. Do you think that's actually gaming, or do you think that
well,
that's like a watered down version of the games, or like the experience?
well. There's a big irony in this whole idea here, is that Well, there was this discussion of like what makes a game good, and is the graphics are the only defining factor of a good game.
Hmm.
Obviously, if you're fucking, if you're trying to be the coolest guy in town, you say graphics doesn't matter. What matters is gameplay, right?
Yeah.
You sound so smart when you say that. But guess in this ironic situation, what's happening? Your kids, for example, that's what they prioritize. They prioritize gameplay over graphics, and what
Right.
you prioritize in this sense is graphics over gameplay. Because
No,
guess what?
I don't prioritize any of that. Like, if you ask me personally, like, I don't give
Right.
a crap about graphics or anything. I do. You know, if it looks good, I'm gonna say it looks great. You know, I'm gonna acknowledge it. I'm point it out and everything. But
Sh-
that's not gonna make or break the game for me. I will definitely
Sure.
go back and play a PlayStation One game, and PlayStation One had the worst graphics in the world. Um, Nintendo 64 games, I play them all the time on my Steam Deck. um, I play emulation, a lot of emulation games, and I love it, and I don't have no problem playing them. I don't, and I
Sure.
never, it never defines the game for me. You know, I always like nostalgia, and that's the way the games used to look back then. To me, to
Sure.
me.
However you can twist it and however you can convince yourself of that, the fact is that guess what your kids doing? They prioritize gameplay over graphics because there's no graphics in Roblox. The only redeemable fact of Roblox is the gameplay. It's just it depends on how engaging it is because you ask does it make a game less game? Well, guess what? Maybe their games is actually a better games in that sense. This is why they well partially I guess it's kind of relates to also discussion of again we had this just talked about it it's just convenience why would you go anywhere else if you have everything is right here why would you why would you break from your comfort zone basically and if the game is truly about the gameplay, not about the graphics, then all the gameplay is in the Roblox. And also, guess what? Because Roblox is so conveniently, easy to access through your phone. Why would you even bother to look anywhere else if you have everything is in one place?
Yeah,
And it's kind of that
yeah.
in that sense that you can very much build a good argument that games in the Roblox is actually more games than well, not really.
Hmm.
Well, you can argue, but it's gonna be a bad argument because the thing is that well, I guess in that sense, what is a game then? What is a good game? It's just a collection of things that put together. It's like a music, right? You can just have a beat, you can just have a chorus, you can just have a vocals, but the what makes a good music? Good music is the combination of them and how they work together.
Right.
What for example in the Roblox case you have is you just have a good beat and a good chorus, right? For example, maybe some kind of a good chord changes. The vocals are absent, the percussion, the accompaniments are absent, and but you have a strong foundation of like a beat and a structure and
Yeah.
that's it but right what makes a again good music is the combination of all things. You can even argue the music right now is fucking shittier than it was like fucking 200 years ago because 200 years ago to make a good music you actually have to have like almost 100 people fucking orchestra, every type of an instrument involved because all those instruments bring some kind of an interesting texture to a music, and in that
Yeah.
sense also it's kind of you can extend that metaphor to games. Yeah, gameplay is important, but maybe also visuals are important. Maybe also the story, the music, right?
Ease of use.
Or yeah, ease of use. How easy to play that game. All that comes together to create a good game. In that sense. But
Hmm.
right.
Yeah.
But again, yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. I just want to give a quick shout out to the person that made this video, 1C2. I will put this video in the description below, so subscribe to his channel as well. And
It's
no, I just
right
want
here.
right there. There it is. I just want we're using his footage. I wanted to acknowledge him. He put
Here's
this
his cat.
great. Yeah, he make this video. He made a great video here. So thank you for the video. No, I was like back in the day, like I was amazed by video games going into mobile, especially that I got an iPhone 1. And this game right here was one of the games, Demon Souls, and you can like this is like peak first time playing on a device like that, and just like swiping and like how you play the game, basically swiping with your finger and all of that stuff. It was crazy. It was like the first thing, first thing you do.
I've been playing myself also a lot of games. When I was in like school and high school, a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
I got into this gaming market. That was like basically the way we played it is like, well, I guess one of the initial games you can play is like pool, right? And
Hmm.
you can also basically play like a multiplayer through the network. And if you connect it to the same Wi-Fi, you can basically create a LAN server like that, and we basically make like a play pool. There was some kind of a zombie like wave games like that. It was quite fun. Or like some kind of a Temple Run type games, with the
Yeah. Oh,
multiplayer.
I love Temple Run, bro. Temple Run was my jam. And
Yes,
Plants vs Zombies also. Like I'm super addicted to those when I
but
play
those
them.
are very, I think, personal, very limited experiences, because this is how
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is just nature. You cannot create some kind of game that have like a 300 controls and like some kind of a deep involved mechanics, because it's played on a phone. You literally cannot put all the controls on a phone, because how you're gonna control it in that sense? Because
yeah,
the limiting factor itself is the medium itself, I guess, the form factor of the device that you make in a game in the first place. So then you make the games accordingly, right? Because phones are obviously they cannot pack a powerful punch in the performance side, so you have to create a game that is a little more basic in that sense. But the thing is
yeah,
that, right, I guess we can also move to we can talk about the bigger idea here, and is that that as much as mobile gaming sucks right now, there was still a good good attempt to bring the real PC gaming, I guess again into a mobile market, like
yeah,
again with the releases over the latest iPhones, were proudly releasing those console exclusives or whatever, or console games into the to their new devices, because you start to be able to play them, again, not thanks to the to DLSS or those AI upscaling mechanics,
yeah,
but now it is basically a true possibility to play full fledged like a PC games on a phone like that. But that's the thing, those games were built for they were not built for the phone. And as much as it's nice to play them like that, it is very difficult, and you just have to by design cut corners in that sense. But my point that that I try to make here is that as much as it's gaming, mobile gaming sucks. I think that's like at the end of the day, it is a future
yeah.
period
I
of
mean, yeah.
the
Well, going into right there, like that next question that I have is, do you think that is going to take over? Do you think it's going to take over the market of gaming, the gaming market? Do you think it's going to like people are not going to buy consoles anymore? People are not going to buy PCs like that anymore. They're just going to be playing on their phones. They're going to be playing on the high tech phones, and all the games. Remember what happens when a device or anything is the most popular thing, aka PlayStation 5. The worst system that ever came out, but it's also the most selling system because of the fact that everyone just gravitates toward PlayStation because of the name, which is the same thing as Apple. People just gravitate towards Apple because of the name. Do you think that eventually uh, people are just going to be playing on their mobiles and not even on the big screen and not even buy a console? Do you think it's threatening to the console or to the PC in the future? In the future,
well,
not
I
now.
was
In the
about
future,
right. I was about to say that yes, it's basically it is the future. But the thing is that, well, now I kind of reconsider, because, well, you can basically answer it yourself by looking at the history. Because where from the start of gaming and the game consoles, PCs, whatever, to now, where is what's the trend of all those devices that are coming out? The trend is that everything becomes smaller.
yeah.
Okay, the
And
trend, especially right now, the trend is basically portability,
you know how
right?
back in the
Again,
days, people, well, what gaming was in, but back in the days, what developers used to do is create the console version of the game and then create like a small watered down version of the game on mobile. So like Nintendo did with Mario Run, right? Like that was like quick, like little game on the mobile. Do you think that's what they're gonna? Because I thought that that was fine, but now they're just full blown putting games on there. Like Resident
Yeah.
Evil is fully blown on there. You can play it from start to finish just like you can on console and PC. So it's
Yeah, at
like,
this point, it's not even a problem to just put a full-blown game like that, and that's the point. That's the case. We already live in those times where that's possible, so it's not even a question. My
yeah,
point
yeah,
is that my point is that where this this whole situation going, and right, if you think about from the history of gaming, where the games began, right? They began in the arcades, right?
yeah.
Then it turns into personal consoles that everyone can own. Then those personal consoles turn into portable consoles that you can actually take with you. And now, what's the next, solution to that, logical step rather to that. It's it's to funnel basically that ability to play the games, basically to make it as convenient as possible everywhere, anytime, basically. Just look at what Xbox doing, right? Remember the campaign, Xbox is everywhere. Guess what? They basically talking about the future, the future where it doesn't matter, Xbox is everywhere because it's a Xbox in your phone, and your phone is everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere and anytime with you,
I really
basically.
think,
That's
like I said in the other videos, I really think that that's a very good strategy to have. Like Steam should be everywhere too. I think Steam should
Ye-
be everywhere. I think PlayStation should be everywhere. I think Nintendo should be everywhere. I just think that that's the way that that market is going to stay alive because of everything going up, pricing and everything is going up. People are gonna just, if you can play on your phone, like that's really intriguing and that's really a decision that people is making nowadays more than ever because mobile gaming is the highest that has ever been compared to consoles. Like they're not even like they're halfway. Like mobile gaming is up there. So it's like, why would I want to buy a console? Like I ask my kids, you want me to buy you a, no, they don't care. I can give them my PlayStation. I don't use it. I can give them my Xbox. They don't want to use it. They don't care. Even if I give it to them, they probably end up playing Roblox on it anyways. So it's like what's the point? Right? You know what I mean? Like that's the market, that's the highest right now that has ever been. It's the highest. So now consoles and PC are competing with mobile because when you play a video game on the TV or on your computer, sometimes what's the most distracting thing? Your phone. Your phone is the most distracting thing. You're playing, you're immersed, you're in there, you're playing the game, and then you just start looking at your phone and seeing who's messaging you, or you start, by accident you start doom scrolling on your phone while you're playing game. Your game is there, your guy or whoever you're playing with, and the character's just standing there like Sonic used to do with his feet, waiting for you to pick up the controller. um, and I think that's what's happening is you get people are getting distracted with the phone, and people are even watching a movie with someone. You're like, hey, can you put your phone down, man? We're watching the movie. You're like, oh yeah, this is the part I'm not really interested, but yeah, okay. And they put their phone down. It's very distracting. So it is the future of gaming, which I hate to say, but it's like we have to keep the PC and the console alive when it comes to the immersive and everything, just because it's going to be a problem. It's I already see it being a problem. You know.
Yeah, and in that sense, as much as you can, you make a good, you can build a good case that everything at the end of the day is basically, comes down to yes, everything gonna go basically on a phone, whether you like it or not, because this
Yeah.
is where everything is going. But to combat the case, this case, there's a small problem with that, and it's it's still again form factor. Phone is also with the phones. Think remember the fact that phones are keep increasing in size, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Through the years, they
Yep.
now back in the day, again
The
speaking
flip
of Steve.
phones and
Yeah, speaking
everything.
of Steve Jobs, when he released the iPhone 4, he was basically saying that that's it. You don't need a bigger phone than that. And the second he died, guess what they start fucking doing? Increasing that shit. As far as I can. And now what the I don't remember the sizes of those phones, but yeah, right now you cannot even fucking reach the top of your phone with your finger. You have to
Yep.
fucking play a juggler with it. Just to use it unless you with one hand. Well, with one hand, it's barely possible to use it right now. But point is that yeah, it's kind of like the sizes of the phone they're increasing themselves. But the point is that they still not, like take a Steam Deck for example. Is that since you have it, is that a good form factor to play games on?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
But
high end games. And I don't think you should be playing high end games on it because you're gonna get a shitty version of it, or it's gonna look horrible. It's gonna run
but
horrible. Might even
okay, but
crash and shut down.
but if it could though,
But if it could,
if
I
it
would. I mean, I'm not gonna as an OG gamer, I'm not gonna replace it with my PC or console. I'm not gonna replace it, but I will use it as a psychic. I will use it as I really game a lot on mobile. I mean on handheld now more than ever. Like I do. So
and that's kind of my
even
idea
when I'm
here
watching
that
TV shows, I sometimes watching YouTube videos or whatever. I just grab my Steam Deck and I do a quick run of something and then put it back down.
and that's kind of here my idea is that even if you could like play a perfectly game with the performance be no problem, the game looks as good as it would be looking at a big screen. Point is that you wouldn't do so. You'd rather play on a bigger screen and be like
Yeah, I'd
fully, I
rather
guess,
play.
immersed in that
Yeah,
in that sense. And
and I'm
we're talking about Steam Deck. Steam Deck is also think about it this way. Steam Deck is also like bigger. It's quite fucking massive consoles, and
yeah
even then, it's still. Point is that it feels small. It's not enough of a screen space or to fully I guess immerse yourself. We're not even talking about the phones, and what we try to do here is with those full fledged games that we don't even want to play on a handheld into the smaller form factor of a phone. So in this sense, you can just say that as much as everything goes into a phone, it's never gonna happen because of that.
like what?
Games
Oh,
are never.
like what are the top? Let me look. I mean, what are the top mobile games? Right? What are the top mobile games? Like they should have a list of top mobile games, right?
I mean, Clash Royale, Candy Crush, and fucking whatever, and Roblox probably. Yeah.
Yeah, like these games look crazy, man. They look at this, like this look like a regular console game, you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Problem with the mobile games. When you hear a mobile game, you clearly if you have a half a brain, you clearly understand what's going on. It's microtransactions, or like simplified gameplay, and attention grabbing mechanics. That's kind of the problem. But that's the thing. Also, right? We're talking about those games, those PC games that have been ported into phones. Those are not the phone games we're talking about. Those are PC games that have been ported. Here's a little tip for you, Mister Raffle, for a fucking PC gamer now. This is what I'm talking about when I say this is a console game, because you can see exactly right here what is a mobile game compared to a regular game. This is exactly the same situation. What we see here is a mobile games compared to a regular games. What is a regular game? Guess what? It's other game. It's a game that isn't this game. Same with the console games. There's a PC games. There's a console games.
Yeah.
What is a PC game? It's a game that is not a console game, and there's a clear distinction of which one is which. And you can if you don't understand that fact, or look at the mobile games compared to regular games. This is exactly the same
Well,
difference.
but like I said before, like, and you know this, like they are starting. Like I said, they're starting to port games, full games. Looking, I mean, they might not look the best, but they're gonna look good enough, and they're not mobile games. They're console games, right?
Right.
Like I said, Resident
Well,
Evil, it's a console game, and it's on
and
PC,
that's why I'm
it's on
saying
mobile.
that's why I'm saying those are as much as those games can be played on a phone. Those are not the phone games. Phone games are these games. They're the one that we see right now.
Oh.
This is a phone games. Well, this is actually a PC game. Never mind. But it was ported on a
Over the
on
top, right?
a
Yeah.
on a phone. But point
Okay,
is that
okay.
yeah, there's just uh there's just a big problem. But the thing is that also what again you can counteract this argument, the one that I mentioned, about the form factor. That as much as you can say that everything goes, the way the market I guess directs is is everything is getting smaller, more convenient, and to the point that eventually everything that you wanted is going to be basically on your phone.
On your
Games,
phone, yeah, which is
all the
easier
all the
access, and then
yeah.
people are gonna, just a button away to buying it, and that's what
Yes.
companies want.
All your entertainment, all your needs is just gonna be on your phone,
Yeah,
including games. But to counteract this argument, right? You say that because of the form factor, it's just gonna be there's always gonna be people who want to play the games, on a regular, regular size, monitors or big screens. It's just
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen because of that, because it's just a different experience.
yeah,
But also, what you can say is that, well, guess what Valve coming in with? They're coming in with this thing called VR,
yeah,
and VR is the kind of the solution to this to this problem, that that it's a different form factor. What could happen then is that you can basically start either, well, because guess what, what's happening in VR, some of the VRs, including the new Valve VR, have the processor chips in there, so you don't even have to, you don't
use
have
a
to worry
console
about that.
or not. No, no,
Yeah,
that shit. It's a console on its own. Yeah,
yeah. So you don't even have to have a power of an external, PC, or, for example, phone to run that shit. You can just play games on as big of a screen as you want it, as the VR headset will allow. So it will solve this problem. And basically, what I think is that it's exactly, this is Valve vision. I think, like, on the long run, I think this is what they're doing. Is basically they already, clear. Well, I mean, we're having this discussion now. Obviously, Sony and Valve, probably had that discussion too.
yeah,
Where they say, like, where is this going? Everything is going basically on the phone. Okay, well, guess what? Problem is that as much as everything is going to a phone, no one wants to play in the phone. So how we're gonna solve that? We're gonna fucking push the VR, because VR is the solution for that. If you wanna,
yeah,
because guess what? What happened to VR right now? It's wireless too. So you
yeah.
just can plug that shit, and it's not even a problem. You can
Yeah, yeah.
just
My
take
kids
that.
actually do. My kids actually do like VR. The VR headset that I have is the Meta Quest 2, I think it is, and they do like it a lot. But the batteries die quick, and they don't have patience for that. But if it's
Yeah,
charged,
well,
and they start fighting for it. Yeah, so
yeah.
so it does target the young audience too. So
Exactly. It solves the exact problem that I'm talking about with the big screen, because VR, it's basically as big of a screen as you can fucking humanly get, and VR only gonna get better from now.
yeah, yeah,
And in that sense, you have your phone where you have all the access, to all the games, and maybe in the future all the fucking console and PC games.
yeah,
And guess what? If you want a bigger, broader experience, you just get a fucking VR from your backpack and just sit down and enjoy the games right there in your fucking bus or whatever in a VR. Yeah, you're gonna look like a goof, but who gives a
yeah,
shit? You
yeah, yeah,
you you basically solving both problems, and and this is how it's gonna be. And this is why Valve pushing so hard for VR, because as much as there's nothing to play VR, it's expensive. No one buys that shit. They still try to push that shit,
yeah,
because the future is kind of there
yeah,
with the VR and the phones together.
yeah,
Working like that. Because VR, technically, right? I guess, if you think about VR, it's just, yeah, it's very much like it for example, films, right? For films, we have a film industry, we have a theaters that you can go to,
yeah,
the cinema, right? You have
yeah,
to go physically there, and watch the cinema on the big screen. For games, we have a PC separate. You have to sit down, you have to have a PC desk, fucking monitor, mouse, and everything.
mm,
But guess what? VR combines all of that. It removes like half of the hustle that you have to go through to consume media. It's all in the VR itself. And
yeah,
but the problem is that it's just it cannot be itself of like a computer that can run all of that. It can run films, no problem, but it cannot run games. Well, guess what? That we already have this powerful computer that we constantly have in our hands, and it's everywhere with us. It's called phone. And if you can
yeah,
combine those two together, you're just gonna you not only, if forget about even your console wars, you're gonna eliminate the PC itself.
yeah,
Because guess what, phone is also kind of a PC too, even of itself. If you think about it. And
mhm,
what else do you need if you have a complete media control? Any media, in and that's in its highest quality of consumption, like in the VR headset where you're completely immersed, your vision is fully covered in the screen.
yeah, yeah,
You have that covered, right? And you have a power of a whole computer in your palm of your hand.
yeah,
It's basically that. And this is, I guess, right, this is, I guess, how indirectly the phone games involved in this situation. They just, as much as they are very much different, maybe they're different today, but in the near future they might very much be very similar
yeah,
in that sense too. whatever's happening right now within
Yeah.
PC. I guess I don't know. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, let us know. Let us know, guys, down below what you guys think about this mobile gaming. There's console gaming. There's PC gaming. Where the future lies. Looks like mobile gaming is dominating right now and getting everyone's attention. Not only with gaming, but with everything else you can do on your phone, right? And doom scrolling and all of that, and taking basically that's I think this is what Xbox was talking about how TikTok and doom scrolling is taking over your attention because everybody's fighting for your attention, right? Everybody wants your attention, and where you put your attention at is most likely the time that you will be spending money, and this is what these companies want. So everybody's arguing, I mean, everybody's fighting over your attention, and mobile is winning all over the place because of the convenience of being right there and then. It's like your psychic. We all know that. Where gaming on a handheld, you turn it on, you have to go get it. Um, Turning on your console and sitting down on your couch to play, nobody distracting you. It's there's a lot of things that play a part of your attention. Your kids in the background playing around. I mean, you're sitting on the toilet, you have your phone in your hand. Might as well run a quick game there. Uh, it's a lot. There's a lot of distractions, and where these companies want you to spend your money on. So let us know down below what you guys think of what's going on in the future, and yeah, subscribe to the channel, guys. Don't forget to do that. And share the video with your friends. We bring you guys topics,
With your
fresh
grandma,
topics. Yeah,
with your
fresh
cat.
topics as much as we can. Unique topics, as what we strive on the most. But yeah, let us know down below what you guys think in the comment section. This is RAF204 with,
We
and we are out of here.